Hey guys, how are you? What's going on? Hey Scarlett, hey Cool Gamer. What's going on? Hey India, what's going on? Look guys, I wanted to talk about this. Let me get my thing together real quick. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day so far. Okay, hey guys. Um I know you maybe you have or haven't heard about this. I heard about this yesterday and I was kind of like, "What? Are you serious?" Okay. So this is I mean, I don't know. And I just pulled up the Zoom. Uh Hold on, let me make sure I got the Zoom pulled up. Girl, the Zoom hearing is girl, we're gonna go through it. Okay. All right, let me get all my stuff together because yes, we're gonna need some visuals on this. You guys, all right, let's see. We just came back from having a nice, good lunch. I hope everyone's has had a wonderful day so far. I have, and it's shaping up to be a awesome weekend. That's what I'm hoping for. Hey, HBB, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hey, SV, what's up? Hey, Journal Girl, what's up, ladies? Let's get into this gossip, okay? There are some scammers out here, some fraudsters, some scammers. So say the law. There have been a couple people who have been accused of some crimes. Okay. Um, and let's get into it. Okay. I was a little bit shocked because I was like, seriously, sis? Okay, let's get into it. So, Shirley Strawberry, the beautiful Shirley Strawberry, who's been working with old Steve for a minute. I mean, I don't even know how long. Let's Google it for a second. It's a long time. They said over a decade. I feel like it's been damn 20 years. Let's see. How long has Shirley been with Steve for a minute? Her husband, girl, I don't know. We're going to talk about that too. How long has Shirley worked for Mr. Harvey? Worked with. Let's just say worked with. Um, let's see. Steve Harvey and Shirley started their morning show relationship in Los Angeles from 2000 to 2005. And then, I mean, it's been over 20 years. It's been well over 20 years. So they started in Los Angeles, then the show went syndicated. It's been a long time, and Sis has made a lot of money, just like Robin, who works with Steve, damn Howard Stern. Sis is rich, rich, rich. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so this lady right here, Shirley Strawberry from the infamous Strawberry Letter, the well-known Steve Harvey show, she married this very dapper-looking gentleman by the name of Ernesto, allegedly Ernest Williams, but known, I guess, whenever he's trying to be fancy, it's Ernesto, but they say legally it's Ernest. Okay, Mr. Ernest is has been arrested in the county of Fulton. Maybe it's the city of Roswell. Okay, let's get a listen to what has been alleged. And then we're going to go and listen to the Zoom hearing because, girl, go get something cold to drink. I was shocked. I really was because Shirley, and you know what I mean? Look, you can be classy and trashy at the same time, right? Is that okay? You know what I'm saying? I posted something the other day on Instagram that had nothing to do with this, but you know how they'll say like you could be you're bougie and nobody would ever believe that you're broke, so you're kind of like broke. People just have an impression about you. Shirley comes across as a very well educated, refined woman. And she's got this very dapper man right here who looks amazing in a tuxedo. Let's not be, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a nice looking salt and pepper type. She looks happy. She looks smitten. And Sir is looks like he's a man about town, right? Um, Period. What else can I say, right? So, Sir has been accused of some crimes. Let's get into it. And then we're going to go over there and watch that Zoom hearing. It's about 20 minutes of footage. And you guys buckle up your seatbelts because I was in shock. Okay.
Of fraud charges.
Fox 5's Denise Dillon talked to Roswell police about the pair's extensive business scheme and why they believe there are more victims.
Police say for years these two would convince people to give them money, and in return they would help them with their business or personal goals. But investigators say it was nothing but a scam.
Nothing but a scam. Okay.
I would consider them fraudsters.
Roswell police say for years, Ernesto Williams and Ericka King passed themselves off as experts in various fields.
And they would align themselves with their victims with promises of being able to grow their brands, their missions, their life goals, their social media followings.
Detectives say Williams and King acted the part, and people paid good money for their services.
They said they were even doing credit repair, y'all.
Walked away with nothing. Police say it was all a scam.
More than a dozen victims and over $1 million in monetary and property loss.
Police say their investigation first started at this home on Pine Grove Road months ago. Investigators say after Williams and King hadn't paid rent for a while, detectives started looking into their financial transactions, and it led them to their extensive scheme. Police say they were convincing.
Individuals who have been doing this for a significant period of time and are proficient enough that they can make people comfortable and act against their better judgment.
Williams and King are now in jail, both facing multiple charges of fraud, forgery, and theft. Police warn if you want to grow your business, make sure you work with a legitimate company.
Try and go with very reputable businesses if you're trying to grow your brand, grow your business, so that you don't end up a victim.
Of those 12 fooled, some were here in Roswell, others across metro Atlanta, and even a couple out of state. And police believe there are many other victims. If you have had any dealings with King or Williams, call police. In Roswell, Denise Dillon,
Call police.
Fox 5 News.
Denise Dillon. Okay. You see this man right here? That is Ernesto Williams. That's Mr. Ernesto. That's Ernesto. That's her husband. The man in the mugshot. That's, I guess, the granddaughter's prom or something. That it's funny how they never mentioned that. Oh, that's like, I don't know. It's weird. Let's listen to one more and see how this station reports this news, right? They're trying. Even in the Zoom hearing, it's like they're trying to leave Mr. Harvey's name up out of it. They're like, we're not going to mention too many names right now, but it's they're married. Like, I guess it is his business, and someone could say, well, what does that have to do with her? Well, it has a lot to do with her because they're married, and he was involved in these schemes and renting property and defrauding people and all kinds of stuff. And you don't think that he mentioned his wife's name and the status of being 1 degree removed from one of the biggest celebrity television radio hosts, motivational speakers, just rich man about town type of dude. And it also comes up in the hearing. So let's listen to a little bit more. I'm not in the comments, so I don't see what you guys are saying. So give me a minute to toggle back if you guys are talking to each other. Let's get over to this side.
Owning a business takes vision. It takes
Wait 1 second.
and it takes a great team. So do what James.
Let me wait till after the commercial passes. After the commercial. Let's see.
Fraud scheme and a lot of victims. This all happened through an alleged growth and coaching business, part of it run on social media. But police say there could be more victims. Atlanta News first reporter Yasmina Alston has the story tonight.
Sounds too good to be true. It most likely is.
$1 million scheme and more than a dozen victims. Roswell police say these two, 57-year-old Ernest Williams or Nesto and 46-year-old Ericka King or Ericka Hughley, allegedly promised an improved life for a cost.
Essentially position themselves as experts in the fields of business growth, development, coaching, things of that nature. They
Credit
then align
repair.
themselves with their victims with the promise of being able to grow their life goals, their missions, their brands, their social media followings, even to help them to
Hey,
the
boo-boo.
kind of high-end vehicles they wanted to drive.
Police say none of that happened from the business run out of a home on Pine Grove Road where rental fraud was originally reported.
To request more and more payment, promising that those services and goods would be later provided, but never making good on those promises.
Now, as police look for more victims, they're also warning you not to fall victim. According to the Georgia Consumer Protection Division, scams are rampant. They say red flags include pressure to act immediately, use of scare tactics, and get-rich-quick promises.
And if you have any information about this case or believe that you were a victim, you are asked to contact Roswell Police or Crime Stoppers. In Roswell, Yasmina Alston, Atlanta News First.
So apparently, okay, let me pivot back. So apparently Nesto, Mr. Ernesto Williams, Ernest Williams, Nesto, is married to Shirley Strawberry. They've been together for a period of time. Apparently, from what I understand, they met on the Steve Harvey show. I don't know if it was some sort of a hookup, some sort of like what actually happened, but this man has been running around town. They said he has a girlfriend and possibly that lady that's in the mugshots with them. This is what has all been alleged in all of the reporting that I've seen online. But yeah, this is quite a disaster for a woman who's worked very hard and is at the top of her profession, because let's face it, there's not a lot of syndicated radio shows out here, much less being at the top of the food chain. Steve Harvey is at the top in his sector, right? If not the top, he's in the top 3, top 5. And she's seated right there at that table. She makes good money, and a single woman of a certain age could be seen as some sort of a target. And this guy has been identified as someone who has an extensive criminal background, allegedly, of frauding and scheming. And he is sitting over in the county of Fulton awaiting arraignment. Okay. And this is how it went. Let's listen.
Consider this person to be a flight risk. We have jail calls where he's talking about going to see his girlfriend, and we consider this person to be a flight risk. We have jail.
So the person who's talking, I'm not sure if this is, we're going to try to figure out who everyone is. If you can see my cursor right here is the judge, Judge Alex something. This guy's name, it looks like it's Kevin Majeski. And then there's going to be an ADA named Taylor. So an assistant district attorney named last name Taylor. This guy right here where my cursor is appears to be Mr. Ernesto's attorney. And I'm not sure if that is Ernesto up there or where he is. Let me see if I can find him, because he should be in here. We'll see if he ever talks. So just pay attention that we do have inmates, people who are actually in the jail system right now, who are in the jail waiting to have their arraignment. So he's probably on, that could be him right there. I'm not sure, but we'll see who pipes up and says who they are, or if they have to plead something. So let's get into it, okay?
Calls where he's talking about going to see his girlfriend in Florida. Multiple times, actually. We have a call where he was talking with his wife about going to stay in her boss's house.
Okay. I'm sorry to keep interrupting. So what he's referencing are the jail phone calls. You know, jail phone calls are monitored. Okay. I'm surprised Harvey's name isn't coming up, honestly. Well, I get you. Look, I'm going to say it like this. It's possible that people don't want to say it because, you know, he's got money to shut people down, but this is actually happening. So we don't want to pretend like it's not happening, but the media loves Steve Harvey. So not because, and it could be because people love Steve Harvey and people go to lunch with Steve Harvey, and Steve Harvey has a certain amount of money, which is a lot. And maybe this guy's a syndicated TV host. people don't want to get his name mixed up in things. And, I get it, but this is actually happening. So it's really unfortunate how things like can get kind of tucked away, because I heard about it last night and I was like, "Oh shit, really? This is, oh my goodness." Anywho, let's get through this, cuz you never know when this kind of stuff comes down, all the juicy stuff. Because people with money have a good way of being able to wipe trails clean, and let's make sure that we get to hear about it so we can talk about it and see what's really going on, right, Bougie Gang?
Going to leave out all the names here, as Mr. Lewis did as well.
I'm going to leave out all the names here, just like Mr. Lewis did. Okay, yes, focus on the criminal, but at the end of the day, he is also being accused of some crimes of a SO nature, the kind that when and if you ever get out of prison, you have to register and you can't be around children in schools and all kinds of activities. So he's being accused of some, not just fraud, not just scamming, but also potentially things that have violated the youngest of our population. And I'm trying to be, uh kind with it because I don't know all the charges, but we're getting ready to hear him. So let's go ahead.
Her boss's house in Abu Dhabi, which of course we consider this person to be a flight risk. We have jail calls where he's talking about going to see his girlfriend in Florida, multiple times actually. We have a call where he was talking with his wife about going to stay in her boss's house. I'm going to leave out all the names here.
We have a call where he was talking to his wife, Shirley Strawberry, about going to her boss's house, Steve Harvey, his house in Abu Dhabi, which is in the Middle East.
As Mr. Lewis did as well, about her boss's house in Abu Dhabi, which is, of course, quite far away from here.
He's considered dangerous. There are several pending warrants that will be coming out that, based on their content alone, there's a great likelihood that he's someone who will commit further felonies. Furthermore, without mentioning the facts of the case in front of us, children were involved.
I'll leave you guys the link where you can find this.
Oh, see you later, Miss Ferguson. Good.
Hold on. This judge is funny. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Is there a reason for that, Your Honor? I apologize for the delay.
Following instructions.
Bullshit.
Oh, see you later, Miss Ferguson. Goodbye. Appreciate that. Don't let Miss Ferguson back in.
Sorry about that, Your Honor.
That's okay. Yep. All right.
Thank you
Best
for
of
your
luck to you, sir.
consideration.
So we'll
Have a
count
great
out the
day.
days that'll be put in place on the 91st day. All right.
Very well. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. All right. Ernest Williams. Don't let that lady back in. Ernest Williams, wave your hand.
I heard you, judges.
All right. Here we go. It's position. It's those four cases, I think, for Mr. Williams. Position 2 is 22 CP 210 500, 355 days without indictment. There's a $15,000 bond as of 10/31/22 for theft by deception.
Theft
See,
by
22
deception.
CP 211078, Ernest Williams, 355 days without indictment. $75,000 good bond as of December the 31st, 2022, with 3 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony. Position 4 is 22 CP 212559, 355 days without indictment with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony. And there is a $20,000 split bond as of 10/17/2022. Position 5, 355 days without indictment, 23 CP 215407. I'm assuming you want me to waive, Mr. Lewis?
Sure.
All right. I can say it if you want me to, or do you want me to waive?
I don't think Miss Williams cares. But yeah, wait, Judge.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 other felonies on there that have to do with the nudity, let's say. No bond as of January the 13th, 2023. Free.
5 other felonies with some sort of nudity. I will never understand why successful women marry like grifters. I mean, it happens to the best of us, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of women get fooled by scammers and con artists. And right now, of course, he's accused, and we're going to let the justice system do what the justice system does. But how embarrassing is it? Like, we're not even done yet. And I hit the pause button. Like, this is a 20-minute video. Okay. We're not even done.
So in regards to Mr. Williams, still other open cases, 22 SC 18443, theft by taking, theft by deception, 22 SC 184-402, theft of services, deposit account fraud.
This is probably the county clerk talking right here in this box right here in blue. This is the Superior Court of Fulton County, is her backdrop, and court services. So this is probably the judge's clerk who is reading off more allegations.
Both of those are assigned to Judge Edwards.
So she's alerting the court of additional charges not in that court, but being seen and heard in another court. Okay. Mr. Ernest Williams, aka Ernesto Williams, aka Nesto.
Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lewis.
All right, Judge. You mentioned all the days on Mr. Williams. So I don't find it to be a good use of anybody's time to go back through all of that. I believe Mr. Williams, my client, is now 59 years old. When I believe when this case first began, he was 58 years of age. Judge, he was born in Augusta, Georgia. He has lived in the Atlanta area since 1994. From 2015 to 2019, he lived in California. He got married in 2015, Judge. He is the father of 6 kids and 4 grandchildren, some of them in the state of Georgia. His oldest granddaughter is a student at Georgia State University. Judge, he has owned grooming parlors, some barbershops.
Ernesto, you might need to get a better lawyer, sir. Sir can barely spit his sentence out.
Both in Peachtree and Far Road, as well as in Sandy Springs. He sold some businesses, some land.
Girl, he said he stole. I would be like, you're fired. You're fired.
To the city of Atlanta in 2016 from those first sets of business. In 2021, he opened a new location, Nesto's Grooming, which 2 doors down from the old location. That business has been dissolved partially because of
girl went to the same college with Jasmine.
So in other words, he's losing money from his businesses from being in here, and that has been testified also to by one of the law enforcement officers from Roswell. He had owned
This is my thing. Why not just say my client? Like, you're giving all of these stats on your client. What about he's been falsely accused? He didn't do the things he's been accused of. When we go to court, we have all of the evidence that you're going to need to clear his name. Giving this rundown of a resume isn't telling us why this man is being accused of like 12 different felonies at this moment. And your wife makes lots of money working for a man who makes lots and lots of money. And why you are on a Zoom in this position at this moment with the severity and the gravitas of charges. This is unbelievable.
Unarmed security service, Nesto's Elite Security Company, where he had a number of 1099 persons working for him. Judge, my client has a number of felonies in his past. Those felonies go all the way back to the 80s.
What?
He's got
So he's an upstanding citizen. He's a family man with college students at good schools in our state. And he's got businesses, and he does have some felonies that he grew back from the 80s. But what's that got to do with now?
He's got one in
This is crazy.
2008, which looks like it is a merger, meaning when they're doing the sentence on one, they're doing the sentence on the other. And there is a deal, and my client decides to take the deal. His wife resides in Buckhead, and you will see, and I think that is the Buckhead community. She doesn't say Buckhead on her affidavit, but she does reside in Fulton County and in Buckhead. Judge, his history, there's nothing in the last 10 years. He's
Look at
never
the
been
district
in one of
attorney's
these
box.
cases accused him of attempting to pass somebody off as a lawyer. His co-defendant in that case has a consent signature bond that has been signed off on. I believe Mr. Majeski can tell you more about that when he gets to it. He has never himself been involved or accused or convicted of anything that involves a person passing themselves off as a lawyer or impersonating anybody ever in life. This last case that came about involves, if my understanding is correct, and I don't know because I haven't received discovery on it since it hasn't been indicted, a single photograph that was found on a computer that the prosecution, well, not even the prosecution at this point, I guess it's still the police because it's not indicted or accused, claimed was my client's, and that he was in possession of either the computer or the photograph that's on there. My client has never been accused of anything involving nudity or anything else with children. He has been convicted of things like armed robbery in his past, and that occurred.
So this man has a picture in his computer that nobody should have in their computer. And yeah, this is an awful pleading. I don't know where he found this lawyer. I don't know if Miss Shirley left him out to dry, like Negro, figure it out on your own. I'm not sure. But this lawyer does not sound like he is ready for what this man is up against. I don't know.
Occurred in Cobb County. I believe he was sentenced to 5 years back then on that. Bank fraud when he came to pick up a check that they said was cleared, and he was arrested on the scene. That's his federal case. So that's the kind of stuff my client has been convicted of in his past. And so far, nothing else has happened on these cases. The oldest you've quoted the dates on, the youngest you've quoted the dates on, all of those dates are beyond the 90 days, some of them beyond 180 days. So what I'm asking for, Judge, is on every last one of these cases, if and where you can, that you enter in a unsecured judicial release that mirrors his co-defendant on one case that she has with him that was consented to, and on another case where there's 14 counts where she engages or is alleged to have engaged in similar behavior as to what she is accused of in this case. On the rest of them, Judge, I'm asking for a UJR, but in no instance of an amount of a bond greater than $5,000 per count. On one of the bonds, I believe that you signed, Judge, you tell him he can't be with his wife. I'm going to ask that you...
Is that Melody Scretchen?
No, it's the other lady, the SS lady.
Oh, Strawberry.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, let him be with his wife before we end up having a...
Why is it in Fulton County you cannot say Shirley Strawberry's husband is over there in the Fulton County standing accused of some bad shit? Okay. Why is it we can't say, why do they have to say SS? Why is it? Yeah. Why? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, why even mention his wife? But if you're going to mention he has a wife, is her name too good to be heard? Or is it that Atlanta is trying to protect like Atlanta's elite or top earners? I mean, I don't know, but it's weird to me that if they can smear you know what I mean? Like if your man or if you get into it, you're going to be in Zoom and your name is going to be said. But if you're of a certain tax bracket or earning quality, you don't get innocent until proven guilty and your name doesn't get heard and said like everybody else just because, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? It's alleged, right? Like anyone else, you get your day in court, people make mistakes, right? There's mistaken identities, there's all kinds of stuff. I don't know that applies here, but all I'm saying is I'm curious to know why this is being allowed, because I mean, we've seen some other high-end cases and Belle Collis's name was said, and Tasha, what's her name? Kempe, whatever her name is, Tasha K's real name was said, Cardi B's real name was said. But we can't say Miss S Strawberry. Like, the judge clearly doesn't give two shits, but is there some sort of reason why people are trying hard to not say who this man is associated and married to? That's weird to me.
A divorce matter in Fulton County.
Hold
Judge
on.
also
I'm
with
sorry.
his
Did they say
wife.
there's a divorce matter? Hold
I'm
on.
going to ask that you.
Is that Melody Scretchen?
No, it's the other lady, the SS lady.
Oh, Strawberry.
Yeah, yeah. So if you don't mind, let him be with his wife before we end up having a divorce matter in Fulton County.
Okay. So there's no divorce matter at hand, but he's just saying that if he is barred from being around his wife because of his criminal behavior or criminal accusations or both, then there could be that could have an effect on the marriage. I guess he was trying to be cute to say that. I just looked it up and he was charged with, yes. We're going to it's coming up, sis. Yes. On top of all kinds of scamming. Let's listen.
Judge, also, you tell him he can't reside. I have an affidavit. His wife is a person of some public notoriety.
His wife is a person of some public notoriety. Like, I just, some. Not that everybody knows who Steve Harvey is, but damn it, he hosts Family Feud. Everybody pretty much knows who Steve Harvey is. And if you don't watch his show, you know who he is, but maybe you don't watch the radio show. Maybe some people who watch Family Feud don't listen to him on the radio and vice versa, right? But he's just one of these people, kind of like a Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune. He has ascended to that level. Steve Harvey is known worldwide. He's hosted the Miss Universe pageant. People know him. He's at Paris Fashion Week with his beautiful wife all the time. Shirley Strawberry is his co-host. It's like Pat Sajak and who? Vanna White. She's the Vanna White of radio, along with Robin Quivers, who works with Howard Stern. You think of Howard Stern, you think of Robin Quivers, right? These are like the two top radio women. Since Wendy Williams retired, from radio, Shirley Strawberry and Robin Quivers are at the top. So he's downplaying her notoriety because this is probably very embarrassing. I don't know if this man has a mask over his face, what the deal is with that. Do you guys see how we can't really see his face? I'm going to zoom in on it after it's all over because I don't want to mess it up, but let's keep listening.
She asked, she's given me the affidavit, Judge. I did not file it in because it's filed. She likes to kind of remain private where she can and when she can. And so she asked that you take the necessary measures. If you want that filed in the court, we can do that. We can publish it directly to you right now. so that her address doesn't become common knowledge for her.
I'm sorry, Miss Strawberry, but sis, you married a whole felon, allegedly. Okay. And when that, maybe she didn't know when that happened, but that's unfortunate. But this is a cautionary tale for women who have worked. Like, this is a cautionary tale, period. But it's a cautionary tale on so many levels.
Public, although she loves her public to death, she wants some privacy occasionally as well. And so that's
does
what we're
everybody.
asking for, Judge. I believe that's the sum total of it. I'm sorry.
Girl.
There are two other matters that my client has in his history that I've been told of, but I haven't been provided with anything on. I understand that he has a warrant for a misdemeanor case out of Henry County that's still awaiting. And I've been told that there's a matter in California that the California doesn't want to extradite. I can't provide you. I wish I could give you more on that, but I can't. I don't have it. All right, so that's my request. And I thank you for hearing me.
All right, Ms. Patton.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on. This will be Kevin Majeski for the state judge, and this will also be ADA Lisa Taylor. I wish I could be quick on this one, Judge. This is an extremely dangerous person we're dealing with here. And there's going to be numerous upcoming warrants coming in this case. I believe Roswell told us today when we checked for an update, before the 13th, there's going to be about 15 plus more warrants coming his direction, serious felonies in there, for sure. The reason it was the 13th was so particular is because the last time that these particular cases were heard was in the month of January by Judge Belinda Edwards. She actually heard all the CP cases, and she also heard all the SC cases. Then she entered a ruling on one of the SC cases on the record, and for whatever reason, didn't put anything else on the record for the other ones. But Mr. Lewis and I had about, I think it was a 2.5 hour bond motion on that particular one that day. This will be considerably shorter. Yes. But the Judge Edwards heard them back then. And if you note the bond order that she did file in, I believe was on 22 SC 184403, she denied bond in that case and left the no bond in 22 SC 184402, noting that he was an extreme likelihood to commit additional felonies. Going back to his history, Judge, of course, as Mr. Lewis correctly stated, starts in the 80s. He has a laundry list of crimes of moral turpitude that he's committed, multiple armed robberies. There was the one in Cobb, but he also committed another one in Douglas County as well. Got 10 years of custody for that, a short custody time in the first one, 10 years in the next one. Then, of course, false statements, multiple FTAs, probation violations, and the bank fraud, which he actually did get federal time for as well. So it was a little bit more complicated.
Why didn't Shirley Strawberry do a background check? Why didn't Steve Harvey, as somebody who works so close to him, not do a background check on the lady who has worked with him for 2 decades and that he walked down the aisle, yes, Shirley, at her wedding, as big brother, as probably Uncle Steve to the kids? How did this guy slip through? How did this guy slip through? That's what I want to know. Who introduced this Pookie to the Miss Strawberry letter?
Than it was held out to be today. He's an ANC recidivist. To address Mr. Lewis's statements that he made about the California cases, it's true, he does actually have 2 warrants for his arrest out of California. Those are, as Mr. Lewis said, non-extradition warrants that he has present in both those cases. And we have the reports and the warrants in those cases in our file. They have to deal, both of those cases have to do with transporting stolen cars back here to Atlanta, actually, is what it says in both of those reports. One of them was out of LA County and one of them was out of Orange County, I believe. And then, of course, there is the case that the other county in Georgia has the hold on him for as well, Judge. when it comes to
And this is the state attorney's office talking. So the district attorney, this lady right here in the bottom corner, y'all, she's from the county. She's from Fulton. This guy is from the state of Georgia, and he is speaking also in reference to other state charges in California and other impending charges coming through to the county of Fulton, to Judge Alex's court. Okay. And this is the gentleman in question right up here. Okay. So just in case now, if you're just coming in, slide the bar back. But in the first couple of minutes in this video, the state representative, Mr. Kevin Majeski, he is talking about not allowing for a bond for this gentleman because they consider him not only dangerous, but a considerable flight risk because of the means of his wife and people he is associated with, and that he was on phone calls seeking safe harbor in Florida and also potentially going to Abu Dhabi, where his wife's boss has a home. Okay.
down to these particular cases, I will note for the court that he does, I believe it's on case number 22 CP 212559. That case became kind of like an amalgamation of a few cases when it got entered in the clerk's office. I believe there's 3 charges on there that have no bond currently. We did address that in front of Judge Edwards, as Mr. Lewis could tell you as well, last time we were there, and I agreed with him. He was entitled
January.
to a bond then, still is now. And I had proposed, when Mr. Lewis and I had talked, a bond of $25,000 per on those particular charges.
Look at the lawyer over here.
The reason I proposed that particular bond is because that particular bond mirrored what he
This is his lawyer right here, Mr. Can't Talk.
had in the other case, which was $25,000 good as well. Judge, we consider this person to be a flight risk. We have jail calls where he's talking about going to see his girlfriend in Florida. Multiple times, actually. We have a call where he was talking with his wife.
Shirley, did you hear that? He has a girlfriend in Florida, sis. Sis, if he does get bond, don't put up the money. And if he gets bond, don't open the door. He's got a girlfriend in Miami. That's what they're saying. His jail calls, he's talking to a lady and he's trying to get down to Miami, boo-boo. And then he's talking to you and trying to get Mr. Steve all mixed up in this mess. Contact a divorce lawyer ASAP, sis.
About going to stay in her boss's house. I'm going to leave out all the names here, as Mr. Lewis did as well.
Oh, you want to listen to that one more time?
Super Sailor? Abu Dhabi, which is of course person to be a flight risk. We have jail calls where he's talking about going to see his girlfriend in Florida. Multiple times, actually. We have a call where he was talking with his wife about going to stay in her boss's house. I'm going to leave out all the names here, as Mr. Lewis did as well. About her boss's house in Abu Dhabi, which is of course, quite far away from here, quite far removed from any court's jurisdiction here. And just the general scheme that's been going on here, Judge, when we were last in front of Judge Edwards, she put us on the clock, said, you guys got to get this done. You guys got to get this investigation done. We've been working with Roswell off and on, talking to them to see where their investigation is. It's on schedule. It will be done by the 13th. He'll be served with, like I said.
Look at all the other criminals here waiting, or alleged criminals waiting for their arraignment. Who do you think immediately got out of there and was called their girlfriend and was like, yo, call the shade room, Shirley Strawberry? Like, I got the tea. I was in court today, and guess whose husband is being arraigned? I got all the tea, and here it is. Because, like, look at everybody just listening. Look how just everyone is like, damn.
Going on here, Judge, when we were last in front of Judge Edwards, she put us on the clock, said, you guys got to get this done. You guys got to get this investigation done. We've been working with Roswell off and on, talking to them to see where their investigation is. It's on schedule. It will be done by the 13th. He'll be served with, like I said, 15 plus new warrants, some of which are very serious, that this court, just to put it out there that this court may not even be able to consider, unfortunately. It would have to be considered by a sitting elected Superior Court judge. And for that reason, I would have to recommend the $25,000 per on the 22 CP 212559. I believe that the other ADA Taylor has something to say about 23 CP 215407 and the state's recommendation for bond in that particular matter, Judge.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Taylor.
Good evening, Your Honor. Yes, as Mr. Majeski has stated, he's considered dangerous. There are several pending warrants that will be coming out that, based on their content alone, there's a great likelihood that he's someone who commit further felonies. Furthermore, without mentioning the facts of the case in front of us, children were involved. The state is requesting a bond, knowing that he has to have a bond because it's been well over 200 days, a bond of $200,000 per count, giving us a grand total of $800,000 bond for the case involving the exploitation. There are 4 separate counts there. As standard, I would also request that there be an ankle monitor placed on Mr. Williams, as well as that he surrender his passport, not leave Fulton County, have no internet access at all, and no contact with any.
They are not playing with him. So he's been in jail for over 200 days. I haven't heard anything about this, right? He's been in jail for over 200 days without bond. So they're having a bond hearing now, and they're going to give him bond, but it's if he can get it paid. So if somebody's willing to put up, which, I'm sure, I don't know what Shirley Strawberry's pockets are holding, but I would almost imagine she could hold that much. Or she definitely knows people who could write a check. I don't think Sir is getting out. If he gets out, what they're saying is ankle monitor, supervision, can't leave Fulton County, surrender his passport, all of these things. They consider him dangerous. Like, this is pretty crazy that she's a pretty well-known celebrity. I'm shocked that we have not heard of this.
Placed on Mr. Williams, as well as that he surrender his passport, not leave Fulton County, have no internet access at all, and no contact with any minors or animals.
No contact with animals. What?
But again, he's met all the Ayala factors. He's a flight risk, as evidenced by phone calls that we've heard.
Okay. All right.
Judge, just one more thing. If the court is inclined to grant a bond on this, which would see him released, the state does have a number of people we would be requesting no contact with as well.
All right.
Before you go, I'm sorry, Mr. Majeski, finish up.
Oh, no problem. Melody Scretchen.
Okay.
Gail Bickham. Alasia Alexander. Leilani Thwaites. That's THW. Miles Williams. Lakeisha Williams. Brianna Jordan. Deborah Johnson. Sheridan Strawberry and her kids.
So that would be Sheridan Strawberry. That's Shirley Strawberry and her kids. So they're asking, yeah, they don't want, because this guy is involved in a lot of stuff. Whatever she knows and doesn't know, they probably don't want tainted, contaminated, and maybe she has asked to not be bothered. Like, I'm out of this. So, wow, this is crazy, girl.
Olivia Washington. and Ericka King or Ericka Hughley. That was the person Mr. Lewis was referring to earlier, who is her co-defendant in this particular matter, Judge. And yes, the court did, as he noted, we did enter into a consent bond with her. That was for reasons, of course, that we're not discussing here in court today.
Girl, Ericka must be cooperating. Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, Judge. One other thing, and I would. So the other thing that I've got, Judge, is although Mr. Majeski speaks of these things, and so does Ms. Taylor, there was no evidence offered to any of these things that are now being alluded to during that hearing that lasted for 2.5 hours. None of it. There was, and I permitted it, Judge, during the closing argument of the state. I permitted them to talk.
Yes.
I didn't object to any of it.
I feel like I remember when she used to talk about Sheridan when Sheridan was a little kid. Like, she's been working with Steve Harvey forever. It's been over 20 years. Yeah. Shirley been around for a long time. So I wonder, so they're saying for him to keep away from Sheridan, who's grown, right? Okay, so that's not Shirley, that's Shirley's daughter, granddaughter. Shirley wrote some sort of affidavit. I hope they're going to show it. I heard it on Chronicle Speaks. I'm going to see if I can find it. If not, we'll listen to it because Chronicle Speaks reads the whole thing. So we'll go to that portion. And I just found this uncut on Judge Alex's YouTube channel. So let's hear the rest of this. But is this not blowing your mind? I mean, not that this stuff can't happen, because obviously it can, right? But this man is married to this woman, and this happened 200 days ago. We did see the 2 reports. If you go back to the beginning, any of you guys, we did see 2 news reports in Atlanta regarding this matter. No mention, and maybe they didn't know at the time that his wife is famous, or a well-known radio personality of a very well-known personality. I don't know. You guys chime in.
Where promises were made about upcoming charges upcoming to Judge Edwards.
No,
and
that's not the Joe
we had
Brown.
made it
I don't believe.
from January 31st all the way now to June the 26th. And we're told that in the future, something will be coming. I'm asking this court to give the future no credit whatsoever, because we had a whole bunch of future between January 31st and June the 30th. And if we keep on giving the future credit where things don't show up, we'll have a person sitting in jail who hasn't, not the issue of not being convicted, but not even accused and being held. And so I'm going to ask the court, reiterate my request to you before, UJR, no more than 5,000 counting everything. And I did not hear Ms. Taylor.
I mean, these are people of means. I think bail should be assessed at what they believe your financial means are. And he's got a litany of felonies. What?
To tell us whether that was more than one picture in those 5 counts or not. But I thought it was one picture, or at least I believe that's what Mr. Majeski told me, but it's been so long ago since he talked about that. I can't rightfully remember right now. Thank you.
It's 4.
Your
I can
Honor.
no, it's 4.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Clark.
Yeah, Mr. Majeski addressed it. There were numerous images, actually. And as a matter
one image is more than enough. And just because there's 1 image, 2 images, 4 images, you could have years of a person being violated. And just because there's no pictures doesn't mean it didn't happen. So 1 picture could be a lifetime of violation. So what? His lawyer is despicable. I'm sorry. He's either the worst lawyer or he's just a despicable character, because what?
of fact, the reason the case is still ongoing, the investigation is ongoing. Several more witnesses have come forward between January and now. They're still coming forward. We're trying to have a thorough investigation before we just indict. We can't just.
I got you. All right. Bob South, booth 1. Head up. Everybody sit up straight. Sit up straight. Trust me, I'm tired too, but I've been working all day. Sit up straight. There you go. All right. Position 2, ending in 0500. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. You must surrender your passport to Mr. Lewis. Mr. Lewis will put it in his safe that he has with all his money locked up in.
Ooh.
Cannot leave Fulton County, cannot leave the state of Georgia. Stay away from 7100 Suttles Drive. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. You're going to have a 24-hour curfew with an ankle monitor paid for by the county. You can leave for court, medical, employment, attorney's visits, and job, as long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, schedule, the exact location it'll need to be working. It'll obviously need to be in Fulton County. No further contact with Melody Scretchen, SCRETCHEN. If you got all that right on that one, that'd be a $5,000 good bond. Position 3, ending in 1078. 5,000 each count. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons, no further contact with Ericka Hughley, Shirley Strawberry. Ericka, let's see.
So he's not allowed to be in contact with his wife. Wow.
Then, oh goodness. Okay, let's see. Gail Blickham, Alana Alexandra, you said? Layla, oh gosh, you got to go with Mila Williams.
A judge and deputy clerk, I think it was Hunter. Requested I send her all the names. I'm going to be doing that as soon as you.
All right, good. You rattled those off. So those names: cannot leave Georgia, cannot leave Fulton County, must surrender your passport to Mr. Lewis. Like I said, he'll stick it away where he's got all his money. All right,
Judge, clear it up for me, please. You mentioned Shirley Strawberry. You did not mean to mention Shirley Strawberry. Is that correct?
Sheridan.
Sheridan. Okay, yes.
Sheridan. Sorry, Sheridan.
Okay.
Okay, so the daughter and her
Sheridan
children.
Strawberry, SHERIDAN. I've marked through that. That's why I guess I'm
okay.
All right, you got the ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical visits, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, schedule, the exact location you'll be working. And you can just lift all those on that one, Ms. Hunter. Position 4, ending in 2559. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. You have ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, schedule, the exact location you'll be working. No further contact with your co-defendant, Ericka Hughley. And here I've got Sheridan Strawberry and Amanda Johnson. No further contact with them. 5,000 on each count. Position 5, 5407. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. You're gonna have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, schedule, the exact location you'll be working. You can't leave Fulton County. You have to turn over your passport to Mr. Lewis. No further contact with anyone under the age of 18. No social media, no internet access. Surrender your passport, like I said, and you cannot leave Fulton County. 200,000 on each count. Best of luck to you, sir.
200,000 on each count. So he had some counts that were 5,000 and some that are 200,000. Friend, it says that Miss Strawberry's net worth is 5. I believe it. So I went over to the judges. So this is the judge's page. I was over at someone else's page who had it posted. Hold on. Sir does not, he's got a mask on his face and it's like he's got some sort of glasses or something. Hold on. It's like he's got a Rona mask on. He's got some sort of, he's trying not, look, I'm going to just say it. My impression is he's trying to not show his face. Okay, sir. Okay. Anywho, I'm in shock. I mean, shit happens to everybody. Not on this magnitude. There's some of us who will never come into this type of situation with anyone. I just don't know. I don't know how someone could have so much piled on and say that they don't know. And you know what I mean? That 5 million can be over under. That may not even be accurate. I mean, she's, you know, these people make money. Okay. Um, so who knows? Anywho, there's maybe just a couple more minutes. Let's see if there's anything else that they have to say. I don't know what his bond total was. But some of them were at 200,000 and some are at 5,000. Ankle monitor, don't leave Fulton, don't leave Georgia, turn in your passport to Mr. Lewis. That basically brings Mr. Lewis into it. Basically, sir, you're responsible for your client. So he's going to give you his passport. And if that man gets on a plane and goes somewhere with that passport, you lose your license and you're going to jail and all of those things. So Mr. Lewis is, yeah. Mr. Lewis has to make sure that her looping Mr. Lewis in is really funny for him to not have to have turned it into the court versus turning it into his attorney. So, and she said Mr. Lewis can lock it up in his safe. Okay. Wow. He's getting bond. There were some charges where there were $5,000 issued per charge, and there were a couple that had 200,000. So, I mean, I'm just going to do a rough guesstimate. He's probably got somewhere a little bit north or south of $500,000 bond. But he's going to be on an ankle monitor. He has to surrender his passport. He cannot leave Georgia. He is not allowed to be in contact with his co-defendant. There are several victims that he has been ordered to not reach out to. He has also been ordered to not be in any communication with Shirley's daughter or her children. So that could be a strain on mother-daughter relationship. I could imagine if there's a reason why specifically Miss Sheridan Strawberry has been asked to not be contacted, right? Also, on top of that, this is crazy, right? Girl.
But
Mr.
are
Lewis is
you
a fool.
appending
Okay.
that language too, if in fact he's got that hold in Henry County that the ankle monitor gets fitted upon return?
Yeah, he'll have 48 hours to have the ankle monitor placed on his ankle if there's a Henry County.
Right. Okay.
I think I've covered everything, right? Internet access and or animals. I've got animals. No contact with any animals of any kind.
Okay. No animals. Gotcha.
All right. Thank you much, Mr. Lewis. Best of luck to you, sir. You can leave the booth.
And Judge, would you like me to copy you on that list of names as well?
Sure, that'd be good. You can do that. Thanks.
I know. So I appreciate your patience. Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
All right. Thank you.
Girl, is that not like what? Are we? What? Oh, and let's not forget about the animals, guys. What I want to know on this day is who introduced Miss Shirley to Mr. Ernest Williams. Whoever introduced me to this fool, I would be coming and drop kicking right up into your behind on today. I wonder, and look, we've seen this on the YouTube streets. Let's not even play like we did not see this play out on the YouTube streets. Not this. But we saw a situation where there was a sis on the YouTube streets who had a man move into her home who had a background that was dangerous, right? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Let's not put any names in the chat, but we know what we're talking about here, right? If you want to know all about that, you're new here, go to my channel called Love, Lies, and Lace Fronts, where we do reactions, reviews, and commentary on the YouTube channels you love to watch. There was a sis who had a known offender in the midst who had problems with his hands, okay? My God. And when that person was warned by the YouTube streets, they were like, I got it. Like, girl, they ignored it. They said they got it. They're not worried about it. All of the things. And then fast forward a year and a half later, it was a problem. Okay. I wonder if Shirley, who is absolutely, she's beautiful. She is a beautiful woman. Let's make no mistake here. Hold on a second. But I know that sometimes some of us get a little worried, and I don't want to say, I mean, she would have no reason to be. She's absolutely beautiful. And that she would have subjected herself. This man looks quite dapper. Okay. I don't even know who is that. Is that her granddaughter? He said his granddaughter. I don't know. They said he has 6 grandchildren, but look, this very dapper looking gentleman, okay? Did nobody warn her, or she knew and she just thought like she had platinum box and that he was going to be okay? Remember what happened with Phaedra and Apollo? Okay. He had a security company. Sir is for the streets. That's all it is to it. Sir is for the streets. He found himself a wealthy lady, a lady who has some coins and has some influence. And he calls her his cotton candy from triple OG Nesto. Okay. And then he's got his security. The felon has Mr. Nesto's elite security. He's got a security company. The sir who is a felon. My God. Y'all. This is a developing story, and you know we're gonna have to stay on this one. Shirley. Seriously, Miss Shirley. Uncle Steve, what's really going on here? Look at that cake, y'all. It's got cake on cupcakes, on strawberries. Sis looks happy as hell. Nesto's security. Wow. How do you think she invested in his companies? Look at that. Look at that. Young jock. Sir, where's Uncle Steve? Oh, was he security over on Love and Hip Hop? Girl. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Come on now. Not the congressman. That's his friend. Oh, okay. His never give up. Girl, Keisha Lance bought that was a whole disaster over there too. Oh my goodness. Wow. He is sitting in the back of something very fancy, and he's been in Fulton County or Cobb County for over 200 days now. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Shirley, they said no dogs, no animals. Wow. Okay, guys. Thoughts? That's what I heard. That they did didn't they do a little kind of matchmaking? Why wouldn't Steve do a background check? Why wouldn't Steve have done a background check on his little sis? Not his little sis, but his little sis potential. You know what? I honestly, I feel sorry for her because maybe she didn't know and she was already in and maybe figured that he was good. He's got the security company. He's earning an honest income. I don't know, but it would be interesting. Maybe she's saving it all for a book. I don't know, but that's crazy, right? I feel bad for her just from a standpoint of that's embarrassing, sis. Number two, I feel bad for her from a standpoint of when did you find out like about his past? And then forget about what's going on right now and that she's okay with him coming home, but her daughter has requested with her children that he not contact her. So for a mom, doesn't she only have one kid? And your husband has been ordered to stay away from your daughter and your grandchildren? Wouldn't that make it odd? I would have to pick my kid. Like, I'm sorry. I'd have to pick I'd have to pick my blood. I'm sorry. Even though I know that is her husband, but he's accused of a lot, sis. And it's so, you know what I'm saying? Like it is when you like, I don't know. Girl, that's a tough position to be in, but I know for me it wouldn't even be a tough position. It would be hard if I felt a certain type of way, but my goodness says that Steve introduced them and that Ernest is Steve's best friend. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to go. But this is definitely a wonderful story for us because it's in Atlanta. It's all the things to keep our eye on. And clearly, Sir is going to be very busy going in and out of court and all of the things. So we're definitely going to keep our eye on this and we're going to talk more about it. We'll recap this again. Um, but I will be live on my other channel if you're in my member circle. I'll be live. If you're not, that video will post at some point tomorrow. We're going to do some addressing the comments. If you have any questions for over there, you're welcome to drop a comment in like the most recent videos. Make sure to put a question mark behind it because I'm going to do a sort based on questions and address some of the comments with questions. And I'm gonna call y'all back. Girl, Tennessee, you're so funny. I'm gonna call y'all back. Yes, we're gonna have to. This is to me, this is so juicy. And I hate this for her. But I honestly, she needs to sit down with someone who is gonna tell her, like, look, sis, this is the real. And this is what we think. Like, this is our professional, unbiased get out now. And if that is something that is held against her from her job standpoint, then you might need to get another type of lawyer too. And she might have to separate herself from OG Steve because it's not worth losing your daughter and your grandchild over some lame who is like, you know what I'm saying? No way. No way. Oh, you think so? Thank you. Thank you, Vibe Tribe. You're awesome. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. I have something to go take care of, and then I'm gonna be live like right around the 6 o'clock hour over on Love Lies and Lace Fronts, and we're gonna do some Q&A for about an hour, and that's it, and that's all I think I'm gonna be done after that. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Nowadays, you have to hire. You have to. I mean, just to me, if I were like younger woman, let's say 25 years, I was 25, 30 years old and I had a little bit of coin, even if I didn't, just like we socialized going to a doctor to get a health exam or get some tests run before you jump in the sack, before you sign contracts, before you signed marriage licenses and enter into marriages or cohabitate, sign mortgages and deeds and all of those things, presenting a background check. Because if you can give blood and show someone that your health is good, then can't you submit, like, that's a great question. Like, if you're okay with submitting test results, can you submit a credit report and a background check? And if you don't want to, why? Like, I guess that's just something to think about, and we can talk about that next time. Like, if you're okay with going and running to the clinic, are you okay with providing a credit check, just so people can have the information what they're getting into? Because someone may not care if you have bad credit, but they may care if you've got 2 felonies. Okay. And maybe you have a clean background, but maybe your credit is shot, but maybe they want to know what they're getting involved in financially before they do that. So I think that's just a great question, because especially as women are getting married older and older, um, or well into their careers, you work really hard. And there's nothing wrong with being with someone who's got a past, if that's your choice. But I feel like giving people the option to know before you find out. So we don't even know what Shirley's story is. Did she know what the situation was? Is she capping for this dude the whole time? Did she know? I would assume she didn't know he's up to no good. I'm sure she would never admit that. Um, but this is crazy. So, anywho, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. Comment down below, get the conversation going down into the comments, and we will definitely be talking about this again, because I definitely want to recap what we learned here. And I have already subscribed to Judge Alex Manning's court. This is Judge Alex Manning's channel. Just type in Judge Alex Manning. Also, hold on. On top of her being Fulton Superior Court judge, Fulton County Superior Court judge, Judge Alex Manning, I think she is an elected official. A second. She is an elected official, and let's see what her bio says. Let's see. Judge Alex Manning is let's see. Judge Alex Manning is a judicial officer in the Family Division. I wonder if this is recent. I guess so. No, maybe she has a practice outside, but let's see what as it pertains to her as a judge. Okay, so her page is not up to date. You know, we got her YouTube page. That's what we do know. What's it say on LinkedIn? Oh, so she does have a practice. Hughes and Manning. So she has her own practice, experienced founding partner, demonstrated history of working with law, strong entrepreneurship, professionally skilled, domestic relations, trial practice, legal. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do a bit. I want to find a better bio on her just to hear what she has to say, but she may not even be presiding over the case. But this is very interesting. We're going to keep an eye on Ernesto. Okay. Anyway, guys, if you guys hear anything, see any other interesting stories that we need to review, regarding this matter, please drop me a link. I so appreciate you guys. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys next time. If you're on the replay, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. So next time we get together to talk about this matter, you can jump right on in to the chat. Okay. My chats are subscriber only. And I think that's it. And that's all. Okay. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys next time.